So, welcome to Apestar Podcast. This is the first of many that will be done. I'm actually not sure what I'm going to call it yet, but for now, tentatively, it will be called Apestar Podcast.
Nice name.
Of course, it's a nice name. And with me here is Peter. Is the founder of Shining Power Solutions, and is a renowned person who knows everything about energy, solar batteries in Nigeria here. And please welcome to Apestar Podcast.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, Yinka. So, just like you introduced me, I'm a solar guy. My name is Peter, and I like what I do.
Yeah. To start this thing, I would like you to say something about what bred your interest in solar and batteries. How did you get into the industry?
Okay, so where do I start from? So, I'm a graduate of University of Ibadan. I study physics. So, during physics program in university days, you are mandatory to have a 2 years internship during your course of study, 200 level and 300 level. It's a compulsory course for us. So during my 200 level IT, I was opportune to serve that Simba Industry. It's an Indian company that deals with large scale solars, battery, and inverters. So on getting there, I was like, wow, this is nice. And I picked interest from there.
So you're saying prior to that time, you had no interest
Yeah,
in.
prior to that time, not like I had no interest. Like I had, okay, so there's this mentor, Dr. Luby Johnson, that came for our freshers welcome when I was in 100 level. He told us that we should focus more on energy. That if we really want to solve any Nigerian problem, power has to be fixed first
Of
before
course.
any other sector could develop easily. So he was just advising us that we should go into solar, although solar was still new in Nigeria as at that time. Far back as 2015, yeah, 2014 thereabout. So it was telling us, was encouraging us like focus more on renewable energy and other alternate sources of energy aside gas and stuff like that. So he has created, that was the first time I'll be hearing about solar. Prior that, I don't know anything about solar. I mean, I didn't come from a wealthy family, so
Fair
we don't know
enough.
much about stuff.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. That's interesting. The main reason why we started today will be I'm trying to see an intersection between solar battery technologies, cryptocurrencies, and artificial intelligence.
Wow,
So
that's cumbersome.
not particularly, but there's a particular question that I've been ruminating about.
Okay.
It pertains to solar.
Okay.
And the first question is the dream of a decentralized electricity grid possible?
Yes.
In Nigeria, because if you look at Nigeria, for example, everyone we don't have enough electricity supply to go around, as you know, and most people provide their own power self-sufficiently. Now, I'm thinking a step forward. Like
Okay.
if we can band together, maybe a group of people, it will even be a single individual that has probably capital
Okay.
to like generate electricity and distribute to. It's not even about distributing to a lot of people now. It's about distributing to just your community, say like 10 houses. Is it
Okay.
possible?
Yes, it is possible. Just like you said, I mean, people have been Nigeria, our country. I mean, I don't want to speak negative, but this is the reality.
Of course.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff we've been trying to survive here. I mean, when we look at water, before we have a water corporation that supplies water to everybody's home, then people started drilling their well, drilling their borehole, and started sorting clean water themselves. I mean, the same thing can be done to energy. Already, it's there. It's there already. But it's just that it's not in a mega scale you're talking about. Not so mega, but in mini stuff. I mean, before the solar technology become rampant in Nigeria, people have been using their small generator. I pass my neighbor. So although it's not clean for our environment, carbon monoxide and stuff like that, and the stress of servicing. So Just like the question you asked, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. We can generate enough. In fact, data says that we are not using up to 30% of solar power yet. So the energy is there, it's
When you say
constant.
30% of solar power, what do you mean?
I mean, if you look at what the sun is releasing to the earth.
In terms of efficiency, is what you're referring to.
No, I'm not talking in terms of efficiency. It's just like, oh, there is a generation
Okay.
and you are not dragging enough and it's just wasting.
Okay.
Do you get my point? Like you have a sea of ocean.
Okay.
And you are taking the water with just small cup.
I feel
So that's why. So
I feel
the sun has enough potential.
Right. But we're not investing enough of it.
Enough,
I feel
yes.
all right. Right.
So I'm not even sure we are doing up to 30% of what the sun is giving us. So that's it.
Right.
And it's constant and it's free. That's the interesting part about it.
So you're saying it's possible.
Yes, it is.
So what would it cost?
So in terms of cost, although if we'll be sincere with each other, in this part of the country, the cost of solar installation is a bit heavy. Not so much heavy, but a bit heavy for a normal average person in this part of the country due to
I mean, it's cleaner. Isn't clean energy supposed to be like widespread and cheaper and
I mean, most of the products using the solar panels, the battery inverters are not produced here in Nigeria. They are imported stores. When we talk about sales, we have to talk about the exchange rate. Yeah, in normal world market, thanks to China, they've tried to like make it as cheap as possible. So many products, but then when you want to buy with the currency, I mean the US dollars, the changing and looking at the average power any of the Nigerian, I mean it's not so easy. So that's why it's making it look as if it's capital intensive, but in the real sense, it's not. It's just our currency that is not so strong. Let me put it that way.
All right. So,
however, it's still better than the alternative. Whatever alternative you want to talk about, maybe the gas,
right.
I mean, it's still better.
So you're saying a consortium of people can band together. Let's pick Nigeria as a use case now.
Okay.
Say if I have let's say I have 5 friends and want to pull capital together to experiment with something like this. Experiment with providing our local community, generate power for them and distribute to them at a cost. How would do you maybe you don't have the exact numbers, but what are the off the top of your head, what is the cost?
So before I can accurately give you the cost, there's something we call load analysis. We have to get your average load, your maximum load, your running load. Let me break it in simple terms, like what you use normally. What are the things you use occasionally? So that's what it just means. So we know the load peak, the load, running load, and so when we have all those data, then we can design effectively and efficiently.
Right, but
solar solution. But let's say that a fan, a TV, your laptop, your bulbs, for basic load, it's something 2 kilowatts can still work with. So plus or minus 2 kilowatts. So if you have 5, we are looking at 10 kilowatts. So we are looking at 10 kilowatt solution. So we have to now look at battery sizing, need a backup that gives you, sun. We have an average of time the sun always comes out. So we might be looking at the storage of about 30 kilowatts. Then we'll look at generation. We can range it, say, okay, we have a steady sunlight of 4 hours out of 24 hours. You can just do our mathematics. And with that, I mean, that's about, say, 8 million or 9 million upfront cost.
Per the entire project or per building? So this is what I'm referring to. Okay. So I don't know if this captures the idea. What I'm imagining is that in a community, let's say in an estate, an estate of 10 houses, there will be a central grid like solar panels, let's say 100 solar panels. There'll be a backup. I don't know how
so when you're talking about an estate, there was this time I had a project similar to that. We use a 10 megawatts. Yeah, lithium battery capacity.
So what would that cost?
I mean, it requires a lot of calculations. I can't just, but I can give you range.
Yeah. So the main purpose of why I delved into that is you never can tell. People could watch this and
They might pick
they
interest.
might pick interest or something like that.
Yeah.
Might be an idea that they want to like launch, they want to like they've
Yeah.
probably been thinking about it and they want to like, oh, okay, let's try this out.
Okay.
So, that's why I'm asking for what could be the possible cost. Now, obviously, you can't tell me the accurate cost, but the possible cost.
1 million USD.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, that doesn't sound like a lot.
Yes.
It
doesn't. That's what I'm telling you. Solar is cheaper to whatever you want to compare it to.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
It is.
So how can is it possible for crypto to come into the mix? The way okay, let me what else.
So before I can say if crypto can come or not, I need to understand crypto to its fullest. Like I only had little knowledge about crypto. It's just, to me, it's more of put your buy when it's steep, then wait when it rises, take your profit. To me, I feel it's seasonal. So there will be this time people are saying buy, 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 buy. So you buy. People are like, then you see that your money has doubled. If you are not greedy enough, you sell, you flex your money, and I mean you live your life. That's the only thing I know about crypto. I don't know any other thing. So I really cannot see. But one thing I know is that one thing I think I know is that crypto is a means of exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And of course, if you are creating a value, there must be an exchange. It's possible. It's possible it can come. Maybe when you want to, there are some countries that accept crypto as means of exchange. Yes. Maybe Bitcoin or Ethereum or something.
Bitcoin network is actually very slow. I was going to recommend something like USD, stable coins.
Okay, stable coins. Yes, yes, it's a means of exchange.
Yes. So I'm only concerned about the aspect where we are doing it in a country where they have a legal tender and all that. But like I'm pretty sure. So in a sort of community like that, you might want, if you want to recoup your investment because you invested in USD perhaps, if you want to like recoup your investment faster and retain those gains, you don't want inflation to destroy it. You might want to recoup it to like a hard currency, basically. So I think that I don't know if that will work. It could work, but now it depends on regulation. We don't know if regulation would like come in and try to like bottleneck all those aspects. So that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it can work because in our company we have a financing option. We call it energy as service.
Okay.
So energy as service is that we give you we upfront the whole cost of the production. I mean, the whole cost of the installation, do everything. Then you pay us when you use. Although there's a fixed amount you pay, like whatever you use plus X. That X is a constant. Then whatever you use is the variable.
All right.
So, for example, say the project costs 300 million, my charge as low as 10 million naira per month, then plus whatever energy you use. So when we look at the finances, you might pay it off in 3 or 4 years. And after you've paid it off, the whole product belongs to you. Like just like solar panels has about 30 years warranty. Then your lithium battery is more 7-10 years. Then you're fine. So just like I said, there is no regenerative cost. Unlike you buy a diesel gen, you have to refill, and now you're paying the cleaner stuff. So it's possible.
The last time we spoke, we were talking about distance. If the houses are spread around over a...
So now you're talking about the transmission now.
Yeah, transmission.
From the generative part.
Yes.
So it's just like normal transmission. Yeah, it could be solved. We generate DC, we convert to AC, then we transmit AC. Then break it down. Direct current is what we generate from this solar panel. Then we save it at the medium of the batteries. Then what we are transmitting to each house is not direct current, it's alternating current. And it does not affect with increasing distance. So the energy is constant. The only part we can have a problem if you say we want to transmit in DC. Luckily for us, in this side of the country, none of the houses uses DC, direct current. Everybody uses DC. So we transmit. In fact, we can even use the existing structure.
Okay.
We don't need to like create our own structure.
Well, that would mean working with people already the incumbent people in charge of energy.
So, for example, now, if you have although that's federal government property, all this
Yes.
transmission line.
Yes.
For example, now your estate, there's a transformer, a high voltage is coming, landed to transformer reduce it to the normal usable voltage at home, then transmit it to different houses. So we will now disconnect from that grid that is coming. Then we'll pick your load at the transformer point and redistribute it. Do you get what I mean?
It sounds doable, but
doable.
what is the what's the bottleneck? Like
the bottleneck is the upfronting cost. Like, are people really to? You have an idea and you feel like this can work. Some people are not well informed enough. Some people think because they have fallen into the wrong hands of technician. Some people think solar is a scam. I mean, I've collected so many works. The products are fine. They use fake cables. They use cable meant for AC to install DC and stuff like that. So just because of all these roadside people, some people do not believe in solar energy again. I mean, and you're saying something. A house, we want to create a green real house estate. Yeah. So we'll say, oh, this
right.
this
So the
estate,
entire estate will be just the
then
energy.
we'll have to now bring some people that are technologically inclined, that understand how it works, that understand how you can manage your power efficiently. Yeah. So we need to like do a lot of orientation. That's why podcast like this makes a lot of sense. That some things are achievable, some things are doable. Unlike probably you met one roadside guy fix something for you and it's not working to you feel like somebody is scam.
Yeah.
Or somebody, or you paid for a 2 kVA and you feel like, this 2 kVA, you have a grid in your house, you can put on your microwave, your AC. Well, because the person that installed for you is just an electrician, he's not a solar engineer. So there are so many technical faults. So people believe it cannot work because they are not well informed. Some believe it can work because they don't have, and they did not look towards that direction because they don't have the financial capacity.
Is something like this already happening in Lagos where there is concentration of capital?
Yes. Just like I mentioned earlier, I said there was an estate like that we were proposing to install 10 megawatts and they are ready to adopt it. Yeah, I know.
I'm ready to adopt or already adopting it.
They adopted it, but we could not finance it.
Due to the
yes.
You mean at the financial capital of Nigeria, they couldn't finance something like that?
So the thing is, people, the financial institutions, some are skeptical that Nigeria, and also because we don't have a well-structured credit system, and they feel like people can default, people can, do you get? So they're a bit skeptical about investing their money in that kind of project.
Well said.
But it's doable.
Well said.
Yeah, but if you can work with I feel like if there's a real estate firm that holds over the building and that can control the whole estate. Okay, let me give an insight now. If I'm coming to I can come to this house. Let's assume this house is powered in green, and I buy this house from someone. As I'm moving, I can be like, please disconnect me from your distance. I cannot afford to pay it. You know, some people are like that. You know, Nigerians are not cooperative.
Well,
and because there's no regulations that says that whenever you are coming here, you must apply. You must, like, it's a constant fee you have to pay. It's not like if you are using or not. It's not like you travel out and you feel like, you get, just like I said, the variable and the constant. So the constant, either you use or not, the constant is there. So that will make it easy for financial to want to invest. So it's not like, hey, I want to disconnect from your solar grid. I want to use my own generator.
Right.
Although generator might sound relieving at first because of you spread the cost over time. You keep buying for and destroying the
ecosystem.
Ecosystem. But over the time, you discover that the cost of solar is much cheaper, and the noise factor, the servicing factor.
I mean.
So now, if you can have a real estate you can partner with, or have a group of people that are willing to take it up, and we know that there is no going back. This is the way forward, probably for the next 3 or 4 years. This is how we are doing it.
So the way it seems to me, the way it seems doable is having. I mean, I might be wrong, but in my mind, it seems as if the way forward now is to have an estate and then set it up from the ground up.
God bless you.
And be like, this is how it's going to work.
God bless
So you are
you.
saying existing.
There are estates like that in Lagos that have started. I don't want to mention. I don't want to do
Yeah.
adverts for anybody.
Right.
Where I actually went there I was called upon to come and estimate um, and design the whole system. I was there, so it's not like it's possible. It's doable already.
It's
People are
already
doing it.
on.
Yeah, and there are a lot of funding as regards that. The company is getting a lot of carbon credit because they are doing green. They even call it green and smart homes. So if you are buying the house, you already know what you are going into. It's not like you now get there and be like, I don't know, it's called green and smart home. You have the name of the estate. I don't want to mention. I don't want to give a free publicity. But yeah.
Fair.
Yep.
Well said. Well said. The next topic I want to delve into is the artificial intelligence topic. And I know you're well, maybe you're semi-technician, or like you're more into the management role and stuff. But do you worry about humanoid robots taking your job?
Yeah. So humanoid robot would probably help me with my job. It's not going to take my job because I run a business. It's like I would want to adopt it myself because it makes my work more efficient. Although I will still have some staffs that probably oversee the robot, but it makes my work so efficient.
I disagree. Maybe
So it will assist me in my business. It's not going to take
no doubt. But like a truly autonomous intelligence might not need you anymore to be in charge of anything.
Okay, so I'm going to give you an insight now.
Okay.
So let's look at Toyota Manufacturing Company, for example.
Right.
There are so many robots there, assembling, operation, painting, fitting of airbag. There are robots doing. There are some automation machines.
They're not.
Putting all those things together.
They already have a role to play. They don't have general intelligence.
They don't have general intelligence, yes. But you still need there's this human part of the business. Just like what I'm doing here.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there's still human part of the business. This is just one of them. Do you get that? Of course, you have to do, and you have to.
Fair enough.
Then you build trust. Like not everybody can trust robots 100%. Like if robots is giving you cost of this, blah 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 blah. Yeah, because you are technically inclined, you might want to agree. But some people be like, who do I arrest? I mean, who do I sue? Do I sue robots? So like the point is that there has to be the face to the whole business of a thing. There has to be someone in charge of the branding, in charge of a lot of stuff. Like, so I will adopt robot. I'm not going to like despise it. I'm fine. I can't even wait to start having robot.
Are you worried about the fact that it's going to displace a lot of people? You know, at the end of the day,
now the thing is, let's look at another aspect of robot. That, say for example, the last decade there was no drone. Maybe 2 decades ago, let me say, before you have to get a pilot, a videographer before you can shoot from. You can't have an area view when you're shooting whatever video. But now there is drone. But now there's someone controlling the drone. There's someone making sure that the drone should. Although some drones are photosensitives and could be programmed that these are the area I want you to capture, but there's still someone like making sure that the drone is doing the right thing. Yes. So it's not about you. Like, are you willing to like be flexible enough to be like, oh, this is the solution. How do I make the best out of the solution? It's going to take a lot of people's job. That one is not doubt. It's just like when there was typewriter, now that there is laptop. Yes.
Yeah.
If you don't upgrade yourself, that you have to do it. Some people like I could remember being like, there are some things that DI printing will not do. That there are some places that they are not going to accept anything aside from typewriter directly. I mean, people are arguing. So it's either you adopt the technology or you fight it. But my advice is, if you fight it, then you are going out of business.
Yeah, no doubt about.
So you have to accept that. So those that accept it will be fine, but those that fight it, definitely, So there will always be a loophole. That's why there's always upgrade in systems. Whatever system, there's always upgrade. Upgrade is because people are there behind it, monitoring it, seeing the flaws. They keep upgrading, and upgrades never finish. Trust me. So it's now for you to position yourself to the latest upgrade and how you can make the best use of it. Am I concerned about other people losing their job? I'm not, because it's making my own work easier and cheaper.
Well,
so
it is inflationary, so
so
it's
I'm
everything
happy.
cheaper.
It's made everything cheaper. So it's just my own to like. So how do I work with this?
Inflationary.
Not like fight it and be like, nah, no. I build my business around the robot now because this is the new tech, and this is how it works.
So let's say everything works out fine, and then you have a bunch of robots doing most of the menial jobs for you, and you're just in the. What then do you do?
I spend the money.
So in that kind of world, you'd have more than enough money. You have enough. You don't even know what to do with it.
Yeah. So just like I said upgrade never finished. There, of course, I myself would love to keep investing more in the flaws of the robot. Then, like a bit, at times business is funny. There might be demand in another way. Okay, maybe this is your line of business. Say, for example, you sell white shirt for a particular community, and you keep selling. But before you know, everybody has white shirt.
All right.
Do you get it? Everybody has white shirt. There's no demand for white. Demand for white shirt. Then you might now start looking at, can you add up dry cleaning business, because your white shirt, when you wear it, is dirty. Then you have to have a service that makes sure the white shirts are in good place, since the sales of white shirts are falling. So entrepreneurship is not a destination; it's a journey. And that's, I'm an entrepreneur. Sure, you get. So entrepreneur, sorry, whatever phonetics.
Yeah.
So it's a journey. So you have to keep understanding the system. So there's no this complacency like my soul relax, eat. No. So it's a journey. It's a journey. So when that stage comes, you are going to see some loopholes. You are going to see how you can work with it effectively. So you adopt it and you move on. Even as an installer, like even those that doesn't run a business, like a normal solar installer or a normal solar technician, it's up to him. Yes, it's up to him to adopt it.
Personally, I think we'll enter into a world where most jobs are already taken care. Maybe in the next decade or two. Yes, but
but it's not that rampant yet.
It's still it's not rampant. It's still they're still kind of slow. So the emails are still faster than their instant. But when it comes to repetitive stuff, you can't compete with them in the angle. But when that time comes, when they're able to like do most things, I think it will free one. It will, let's not sugarcoat or anything. I think it will kick out a lot of people in the job markets, and major people know what to do. But at the end of the day, we're left with this free time to like to explore whatever it is we want to explore. But yeah, I think it does favor those with capital. If you already have capital and you are already covered in a way, because you can either invest in something else or fall back onto your savings or assets or whatever. But for people who were fucked by this, it's a tricky thing. It's a tricky situation to solve. I'm not sure there's a solution to it. The solutions that have been proposed are like UBI, universal basic income and stuff. But when you introduce UBI, it also inflates everything. So it's a very tricky thing. But I don't think that's something we can really solve, to be honest. But let's go to the topic of China.
Okay. Interesting.
Do you think we can Africa? Because Nigeria is like it's a very small part of what we call ourselves the giant of Africa. But that's another discussion. But do you think Africa can compete with China?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
If we have the right leadership, yes, we can. Because
can we ever get there?
You said?
Can we ever get there?
It's possible. It's possible. Nothing is impossible. But the thing is, are we willing to get there? Are we equipped enough? Are we ready for the challenges ahead? Are we orientated enough? Are we even exposed to know?
Educated enough? Do
we even see what those people are doing? Yes, it's because you're enlightened. That's when you know that this is this. Many Nigerians prefer to hear about gist of Babati
Mm-hmm.
and so many dirty stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And even down to our young generations, at early age, they started doing internet fraud, a lot of stuff. We are not even exposed, we are not educated. But can we? Yes, because we have more than enough.
We surely have the
We
resources,
have more than enough.
but it takes more than just having the
But we don't have
resources.
we don't have the brain power. We don't have the government.
I would like to push back on that a bit.
So you think we have the brain power?
We do have the brain power.
I disagree.
Well, I think we do have the brain power, but it's the um, talent to convert. At the end of the day, it boils down to education.
So now when we look at our education system, why I say we don't have the brain power is what are we being fed with?
That was where I was going to.
Yeah.
The if you can before
So there's this thing
to solve this talent problem.
So there's this thing
It
I
has to
learned
go
in
from ground
philosophy.
up.
There's this thing I learned in I'm not even, I just know that the mind of a man is tabula rasa. I mean, although there are another theory that says you live in colony of souls, then later adopted that both of them are right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I feel like it's what you impute.
The output. You're right.
So you keep imputing simultaneous equation, quadratic equation, trigonometric, that people are finding it hard to apply, except those that are in architecture and some fields. How then do you compete?
You can't.
So when I say we don't have the brain power, that's what I mean. Even the person teaching you does not know.
Well, we have the raw brain power. They are very intelligent Africans. In fact, they over there they already have a system that sucks talent away from other parts of the world because their society already has a way to like cater for those people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's proof
Mm-hmm.
that we do have the brain power.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't have a society that incentivizes them to like stay here and be able to like channel that raw brain power into using things here and creating incredible technologies here. So we do have the brain power. What I think is the solution is to educate. I don't think this current generation of people we have can solve the problem. I might be wrong, but in order for you to like solve this problem, we have to train children yet the unborn children and the newer generation, say 1 to 5 year olds, teach them all these new topics, machine learning, AI technologies, mathematics. Focus should be on that.
Yeah.
And then limit, find a way to regulate. It's a difficult topic to have, but like find a way to regulate social media.
Yes.
So it's a tricky topic to actually because at the end of the day,
be like,
if you regulate social media, there will be.
Are you aware that Instagram is not allowed in China?
Oh yeah, and most Western social media technologies are not allowed in there. They have their own what they call algorithm, whatever. In fact, I heard. I'm not really sure about this, but like on their own TikTok, their own version of TikTok,
it's different.
It's mostly about educational videos, on rockets, technologies, and all.
Yes.
So basically, the entire world is dumping down their own kids, while China is like improving their own generation.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way. There's no way you can compete with those kind of kids. It's impossible. So it's a very interesting conversation to have. But I hope we get there someday. I do intend to, like, I'm sure you do too. Like anybody watching this, I hope when they have kids, they'll be able to like teach them, try and inculcate in them the proper, at the end of the day, it's in your hands. You have to let them know how to like be self-sustainable and be intelligent. So, yeah.
I agree with you. But I hope I'm able to convince and not to confuse you that
the way out, though,
we can.
There's also the issue of poverty too. If you're poor and you don't have what to eat, there's also that angle. You don't know what to do. And what has been a way out for most people in Africa is like crypto. If I'm for sideline people in most of the world, what has been the way out for most of them is Bitcoin and stuff. I'm sure you have some questions about about that. Let's delve into it.
So my own belief about crypto is, I feel crypto is not different from sporty bet.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it's more of predictions. You predict this is going to go like this, then you bet against it, not going like that.
So like gambling.
Yeah, then you make a profit while that person cry, you're happy and you are smiling.
Have you ever tried it?
As far back as 2020, yeah, if I could remember, a friend of mine told me, buy Matic. I sold my car then.
What?
I'm telling you the truth. I sold my car, and that's like one of the best decisions I ever made.
Best decision. Oh,
Yeah.
how much you made money?
I made money from it.
Really? So what's the issue with it?
I later lost money eventually.
Right.
So I sold my car then. I was using one EOD. I sold my car for around maybe 650. And I bought Matic. It was like
right.
So I mean, my money.
How much did you make?
Maybe like X5.
Really? You didn't do bad actually.
I didn't do bad, and I was very happy.
Right.
I bought another car. I moved from Mother to Toyota Mozu, and I was very happy. And again, say, buy. I can't remember the car.
Right.
Then Dons. Was sad. I think it's SLP or something. I bought it and I lost money. I lost about maybe $2,000. At that time, it's a lot for me. Even now, it's still a lot. Like it was a lot for me. And I was just like, oh, maybe this thing is gambling. You hit today, you cry tomorrow. And that's all I knew about crypto. Yeah.
Crypto it's a very broad thing. There's the gambling aspect, but I would push back that most things in life is also gambling. If you're in crypto, you buy something, you expect that it rises in value. If you buy a stock, if you buy Connor today or UBA or whatever company, you expect it to run up, and then cash out or whatever, or hold for long term. So I don't think it's different. It's any different to that.
Yeah, I agree with you in that aspect. That okay, so it's just like the normal financial market,
right?
It's ups and down.
But there are ways to like play the game. Because at the end of the day, it's all a game. Even in your own business, you wouldn't have been successful in it if you don't understand how the market is. If you don't understand where to put chip in yourself, to where to corner.
Yeah.
So it's all a game basically. And with crypto, there's a way to play it. There is okay. So in crypto, by my own rules, there are three main businesses in crypto.
Okay.
There is credit, there is foreign exchange, and there is liquidity financing. So with credit, it means you're borrowing some people your assets, and for them to like in exchange for an interest rate. So let's say you have ETH, and then you borrow me your ETH. You set a rate basically. Let's say you set like 10% interest rate. So that means yes, APR. So that means I'm paying you this. But majority of they call them degens in crypto. Degens don't look into that. They just want to like put in their $1,000, 10x, 100x, get out, up onto an NFT. Basically, that's like the gambling aspect. But to make sustainable gains in that kind of industry, it takes deep thinking and soul searching. Yeah, because you if you keep jumping from one place to the other, you will make loss at the end of the day.
Mm.
So there are ways to play that game. There are ways to play that game. Do you have any question?
Yeah. I believe a coin can go from a particular value to zero and never exist again. Uh, I'm not saying Wando cannot go because we are comparing some stocks now,
Mm-hmm.
but the chances is very slim, and it takes a longer time. You could see, but in the blink of an eye, volatility is crazy.
So that's where the foreign exchange aspect comes in.
Mm.
So with the foreign exchange, it, foreign exchange is an exchange of one currency to the other. You're trying to sell to USD for JPY for this and that. In the crypto industry, you're trying to swap BTC to ETH to Matic or I don't know what the new Polygon or whatever.
Polygon, yeah.
You're trying to swap the other one to like some other currency. So you swap that in an exchange. People who own that infrastructure, they are betting on volatility, sort of, but they don't have to guess where the market is going. Whether the market goes up or goes down, it's irrelevant to them because at the end of the day, they're reckoning fees. The last time we were having this conversation, we were talking about well, is it not gambling that people lose their money and all that.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, you have to realize that people will gamble whether you like it or not. Yeah, people will gamble whether they like it or not. People will trade whether they like it or not. And when you own the infrastructure layer of that, you own a piece of that, you are getting certain percentage of fees. That's more sustainable than you bouncing from one place to the other.
Okay, I get it now. Like for whatever trade that is happening, for whatever shopping that is happening, those that own the infrastructure are getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Either it goes up or goes down.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if you really want to make money from crypto, the whole goal is to go and build your own infrastructure and make your people are patronizing you. Can we say that?
Fair enough. Fair enough. But you're also so the beauty about crypto is like it's not in the traditional sense, in a traditional system, it's insiders that would have an opportunity to own a piece of that. But
Who are the insiders?
insiders by people that already have capital, people who are already connected, people who are already in power, that the ones that are opportune to invest in something like that. But with crypto, it has an ethos of decentralization. So it means anybody on the street, so far you know about it, anybody on the street can actually contribute to that and buy a piece of that industry. So that is how you get an ownership of a sustainable income. So now, that being said, I do recognize that a lot of people don't have the capital to because let's say you want to buy a salary, and when I say something like that, people look at you like you're crazy.
You want to buy what?
Buying a salary is possible.
Buying someone's salary.
Buying a salary. So buying a salary means by every month you're getting paid a certain amount based off the ownership of an infrastructure that you own. So it means let's say the exchange that we talked about, where people are exchanging the foreign exchange, it made about just a figure, $1 million a month. Then if you own 1% of that, 1% of that $1 million goes to you as your monthly income.
Wow.
So, but for you to own a piece of that, it means you need to have invested something for you to own a piece of that. So most people are not well capitalized enough to do that, and that's where Apestar comes in, because we realize that a lot of people don't really have that. But Apestar democratizes it further, in the sense that people who don't have a lot of capital to invest, they can come in, all right, pull their capital together, and then we now use AI technologies, machine learning algorithms to distribute it into the system to be able to find be able to locate where yields are, and then return it to our customers. So that's what we're trying to build with Apestar, but that's like conversation for another day. So with crypto, it's kind of gambling, but at the end of the day, you have to know how to play the game well. That's what I tell people.
The game is the game.
The game is the game. Yeah. So this has been a very productive conversation. I would like to do this another day.
Yeah. I'm down. I would like to do this.
Some other time.
Yeah.
So if people want to like locate you, or maybe they want to like get to know more, want to do business with you, or maybe a multi-billionaire CV, and it's like, hey, Peter,
it's possible.
You know what? Let's experiment with this.
Yeah.
Where do they locate you?
Let's make my estate go green.
Yeah. It's gonna cost a lot of money though. It costs like, I don't know, 10 billion naira or something.
Yeah, our social media pages there, Shining Power Solution, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Yeah.
It will be
To be down. It will be on the
it will be on the bell. It will be on the
and our office address is that we have one at Olukomewa, Elele, Ibadan. We have another one at Akwete, Ibadan as well. So
well, it's great to have you here.
Same here, my brother.
Next time.
Yeah, thank you.
Escort it.
Have you picked